What's going on, guys? So I have finally finished the story of Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. I haven't finished like all the hard mode stuff or anything yet, but I took a lot of notes and stuff as I was playing the game, and I want to kind of give like my thoughts and stuff. I've never really done a review video before. This is like completely new to me. So I wanted to kind of do this and just give my thoughts, which goes how I feel about it, and to talk about the good, the bad, and then some of the things that I found were a bit questionable. They didn't really break the game, didn't like ruin the game or anything, just things that I just like, you know, why or as a questionable choice to make or whatever. Don't watch this video if you haven't at least beat the game. First thing, non-spoiler, couple little areas here. Combat in this game is so good. It is probably the best combat I think I've played in any game, minus the fact that there's no active jump button, which really isn't that bad. It just kind of feels weird and clunky sometimes when you're like running around the map and you have to like it just kind of like automatically like climbs ledges and stuff as Cloud. That's about it. But the combat itself, the synergy, the synergy is amazing. Like, it's so much fun. It's like what Chrono Trigger, like you imagine Chrono Trigger. It's like what you imagine Chrono Trigger would be. You know, it is so good. And the fact that like it changes your relationship level based on your synergy abilities and stuff, on how much you use them with the characters and stuff, awesome. And then locations, the locations are so good. They're gorgeous, they're beautiful. I mean, Cosmo Canyon and Gongaga. My favorite place, by the way, was Gongaga. I didn't expect that at all, because in OG it's like a broken down just sand and like overgrown grass and stuff. The location area was actually really pretty. Even like all the overgrown stuff in the reactor area was amazing. The music in Gongaga is, I think, my favorite in the whole game. Just like the ambiance and stuff is really good. Cosmic Canyon's amazing. Nibelheim's perfect. Everything is so good, so good. And speaking of Gongaga, they you know, I guess we're getting into spoiler territory now already, just jumping into it. They brought back Cisne. I was give a pause there. Cisne is really good. All the characters that was in the whole game were so good. The Cisne reveal in Gongaga was awesome. Of course, Zack and all his little things. We'll talk about more Zack later, because there's some things that I want to talk about with that. But all the characters were good. Red 13, perfect, minus a couple little things here and there, but all the characters interact so well together, and they make you just feel like so connected to them, which is amazing. I teared up quite a few times playing this game, because I grew up with these characters, you know, back when I was like 7 years old, and now seeing them go from pixels to even more pixels, just, you know, look more realistic and stuff. It's crazy. It's so crazy. But it's wild. They did so good with the characters, and then some of the characters that they introduced that were new to the story and stuff, they were good. I didn't like hate really anybody in the game. I don't think there's no one that pops to my mind that's like, oh, I didn't like the person. There was that chick that you fight on the ship, the Shinra 8, with the Queen's Blood. Leslie, no, not Leslie. That was from Remake. I don't know. The big boss for the Queen's Blood tournament. She sucked. I didn't hate her, but just she I got rinsed by her a couple times. So me and her have some beef. I didn't really understand Queen's Blood when I was playing it. So we're good now though. I understand Queen's Blood, and everybody's pretty much been beaten. There's still some things I got to clean up with Queen's Blood, but yeah, there's no characters that I really thought that were bad, that I just really hated in general. One thing that was a bit weird was the was Mai for Chadley. It was just kind of random. It was like a way to have Chadley still talk to you, but not really Chadley, but it kind of is Chadley, because he jumps in. I haven't finished the game and 100% everything, so I'm not really sure what that whole thing is. There's maybe more to it than what I understand. So, you know, from what I understand so far, Mai was a bit weird. I mean, I didn't hate, like I said, just no one didn't hate anybody. The music, amazing. Like I said, they took everything and just made it so much better. Like I said, Gongaga, my favorite track on the whole game. the little music notes of Aerith's theme kind of popping up in some of the areas, and Sephiroth's theme kind of just like peeking through certain like certain other music and stuff. You can kind of hear it just kind of just very faintly. You know, he's there, his presence is there, and you know, stuff like that. Music is so good. Vehicle control, like once you get the you get the chocobos at first, right? And they do pretty good, minus a couple things. They just like run straight ahead. They're kind of hard to turn left and right. They don't like turn on a dime or anything. So like I spend a lot of time hitting walls and trees and stuff. That's just kind of a me thing. But once you get the buggy and the tiny Bronco boat, that's so much fun. Like they made that so much fun to just ride around in the buggy and the Bronco. So that's awesome. Something I love that they added was the fast travel in large cities. Just like if you're in a city, you can fast travel around that city, just like clicking on things. If there's like a little location button there, you can go to it, and you can just, it just makes turning quests and stuff so much faster. And then once you get to chapter 13, I think it's 13 or 12, you can literally, as long as you've completed one of the quests, I think in chapter 3, where you unlock the chocobo buggy to take you places, once you do that, and then once you get to chapter 12, you can fast travel literally anywhere in the map, just on a whim, which is so good. And it's actually pretty quick too, how fast it like loads in everything. So the fast travel being so like just convenient was amazing. Something that blew me away that I did not expect was Cait Sith, and how much fun Cait Sith is to play. Did not expect that to be the case at all, because Cait Sith is probably one of the least used characters, I feel like, in remake or in OG, at least for me. Didn't really use Cait Sith at all. So them making Cait Sith so much fun to play and just smash things with the Moogle, it was great. They handled all the characters' combats so good, and I'm so excited to see how they handle Cid and Vincent in part 3. Because I was playing through, and there is a spot, I forget where it was, but there's a spot where I was just like, yeah, Vincent's going to be so much fun to play, because you know, obviously he shoots and teleports and all this crazy stuff that we see in Advent Children. I don't know, man, it's just, I'm so excited. They did the character combat so good. Red 13 plays so much better than I thought he was going to play as well, because like, you know, he's on 4 legs. Like you're like, how is he going to play? That's not, what? That doesn't make any sense. And then he just goes in there, and he was in my party the whole time. I could have him in my party, he was in my party. Red, just like in OG, Red was there the whole time. So playing as Red was a lot of fun. Cait Sith was so much fun. Yuffie, still so much fun. And of course, you know, you got the you know, Barret and Tifa and Aerith and all them. Really good. Aerith had a lot of cool abilities that she could use, like her little arcane ward. Then there was one that made her invincible and shot these like blue beams, I think, that like it was a lot of fun. Something that they really took and amped it up, that I think we all know because of the trailer showed it, the play that we get to see with Aerith singing the theme song for the game, No Promises to Keep. That was so good, and it definitely got me. Especially I'm not going to say anything because I want everybody to experience that part, because it was really good. But there's a spot during the play that just caught me way off guard and made me cry, almost ugly cry. It was so good. One thing I wish that once you beat the game, you unlock like these little costumes and stuff for all the characters. That you've you know, used, like the beach costumes and stuff like that. You don't get Barret's Dragon King costume or Red 13's whatever that name of the character is. You don't get those costumes, which is a bummer. I wish you could unlock those and have them play as them as you play the game. So that would be cool to have like the play costumes incorporated in that. Maybe it's DLC later on down the line. I don't know how it's going to go. And massive spoiler, because now we're going to talk about the final battle, because this completely blew my mind and was just like, what am I witnessing? So massive spoiler for the final battle. If you do not want anything to do with that until you beat the game, I understand. Dip out, come back later. We're getting into massive spoiler territory now. The final battle when you are split up into parties like you are in OG. At the very end of the game, you have you got the three. Of course, now it's like 3, 3, and 2, I believe, or 3, 3, and 1. I don't know, but you have everybody split up and everybody fights a portion of the boss, right? It's just like they did in OG. That was so cool. Like they made that like make so much sense, and they made it like so good. And they did Sephiroth like so good. Like he looks so good. I was surprised to see that boss there. Honestly, everybody's like, how we're not going to fight Sephiroth, you know, at the end of every game, are we? Yeah, I think we are now, or at least a variation of him. I wouldn't see why we couldn't. I know we're definitely going to fight him again at the end of part 3 because, you know, it's Sephiroth. He's a big bad. They seem to have, they know what they're doing, and I have full faith in the team and everything, because the final battle was literally playing Advent Children. You got the team attacks, people helping each other. There's the little cutscene of all that happening, and then you get the fight when you fight with Cloud and Zack. I was very hesitant because I kind of think we all assumed that was going to happen with Zack and Cloud fighting together to fight Sephiroth at the Edge of Creation. I think it was where that was. That was so much fun, and I hope that we get to do that again in part 3 in some fashion. So definitely loved the final battle sequence. It was what I wanted with Advent Children. It's like, please let me play Advent Children, and that was literally that. So that was amazing. Now let's talk about some of the things that were bad. I don't really want to say bad, but they just kind of like, I don't know, they hindered my experience a little bit. It's just kind of like, and this is also taken into consideration here. I was trying to power through story as fast as possible because I was trying to avoid spoilers, because I did not want to be spoiled on anything. So that played a big role into my the bad section here. First is too many mini games, I felt like, which I know sounds crazy, but you get the Costa del Sol after fighting, you know, the boss, right? And having literally all those people die on the boat. I guess it's probably a pacing issue too, maybe. But Costa del Sol, as soon as you get off the boat, you have all those mini games that you're just bombarded with, right? With Johnny's Seaside thing, and then you leave that, you do the mini games with Barrett and Red and Cloud, and then you go back and you do the mini games again with Tifa, Yuffie, and Aerith. It just seemed like it took a long time, and it was kind of weird after, like, no one was talking about really what happened and was like freaked out by the ship. I guess maybe they hid the bodies and covered that pretty well, possibly, I guess, I don't know. But the whole thing was, there's just mini games. There was so many mini games, and I know they wanted to expand Costa del Sol, which is fine. But like I said, I was just trying to power through story, and it took so long to do all those mini games. And then shortly after, you go to Golden Saucer, and there's even more mini games. Now, don't get me wrong, all these mini games were really fun. Like the soccer game with Red and Costa del Sol was a lot of fun. Even the Star Fox like game, the Star Commando, Space Commando game in the Gold Saucer was a lot of fun. So they were fun. It's just like I wanted to come back and do those when I wanted to, and they kind of force you to like at least play them one time, which kind of sucked. And I know this next little issue here is because the Japanese voice actor for Reno passed away, I think last year, or I think it was right before voice acting started for Rebirth. And I know that Japan is very, I guess, stickler for if their characters who voice them pass away, they don't, like, the character also goes with them, which is kind of a bummer, but it's out of a respect thing, which I understand. I totally get. So with that being said, Reno was like pretty much absent in the game, and if I'm not mistaken, they used the English voice actor still alive. So I know in Japan, I heard that they used a lot of his voice lines from Remake to voice him in Rebirth. They just kind of reused his lines to, like, you know, make him have at least a little bit of a portion of the game. I'm not sure if that was the case with Remake with the English voice actor. I don't know if he actually came in and voiced them. There was a few spots where it kind of felt like they were reused, but I'm not so sure if that's the case for the English voice actor. But there wasn't a lot of Reno, which kind of sucks, because Reno's like one of my favorite characters in FF7. But I totally understand why, and it makes total sense. I or I am curious as to how they're going to handle Reno going forward in part 3. Are they going to recast the Japanese voice actor, or what are they going to do with that? So that's a question I have, and I hope that they do come forward and answer that at some point, just so we know. Another bad thing was Queen's Blood. Now, I'm not a big fan of card games. Like Triple Triad was one of the biggest reasons I have yet to even play Final Fantasy VIII. That seems to be like a big point in 8 was Triple Triad, at least when I was a kid, and I haven't played it because I saw that and I was like, I don't want to play that. Even in 14, don't play Triple Triad. I'm not a big fan of like card games and stuff, so I did not like Queen's Blood at all, especially the Shinra 8 portion of the game where you have to do Queen's Blood the whole time. That kind of sucked. Especially getting stuck on some areas because I did not really understand how to play it. And I know, thanks to Soldier First Class, he had a video on how to properly play Queen's Blood and get, give some really good tips and pointers and stuff. So I've been playing it a lot now, and I do enjoy it now that I'm at my own pace and I can kind of like sit back and learn and stuff. So it's fun now, but forcing you to do a whole section of that game on the ship kind of sucked. I know it was very short, but it felt very long because there's like 5 matches I think you got to do. Now the reveal for the final battle there was amazing. I love that. I won't say what that is, but if you know, you know. And that was so it was hilarious, and they did that part so well. Something that I've noticed I feels like a lot of games that I've played recently is that there's not very many hidden like weapons and stuff. Like everything's either in the shop that you can just buy, or that you just get handed all the weapons. There's no exploration required to find better weapons and stuff like that. You just kind of get handed them, which isn't cool, I don't think. Now, like I said, I haven't 100% of the game yet, so there might be some weapons and stuff that I have missed. But from I got a lot of the weapons and stuff just by playing the game. And from my understanding, if you missed them in that section, you could just buy them at the shop, like at a vending machine or whatever. So hopefully there's still some out there that I haven't found yet. I'm going to be playing a lot more this week and going through all that and trying to uncover literally everything in the game. But there wasn't enough hidden gear and weapons and stuff. There really wasn't anything apart from like things marked on the map that you needed to go explore and look for, like the summon stuff and the Moogle treasure troves and the proto relics and all that stuff. Speaking of how much I love Cosmic Canyon and another area which was, I forget, but Cosmic Canyon in particular, it's a very vertical area. Cosmic Canyon is, and I think it might be Gonkaga. When you find something on a map, right, and then you click on it, or I'm sorry, it unlocks and you can see where it is relative to your location. There's a lot of spots where it could either be above you or on your level, and that's kind of annoying. I wish there was a way to set a marker to where it would always lead you to where you need to go, so you know, because there's a lot of spots that yeah, it is Gonkaga, because in Gonkaga there's like those little mushrooms that you jump on with the chocobos. It felt very confusing and stuff, so that was kind of rough. I wasn't a fan of that. I wish there was a way to put a waypoint on marks and they take you there. Right now, questionable things that didn't break the game. Like I said, did not break the game. Just were like, that's weird, and it took some time to grow on me. Red's voice change, him going from like this wisdom, wise, deep voiced having thing to have a 16-year-old teenager was really weird at first. It was very jarring, but I totally understand it, and I like it now. I like his regular voice. It's cool. I'm not sure how everybody else felt about that. Let me know how you guys feel about Red's voice change down below, because I'm curious. I've not seen anybody talk about it really, so I guess it was fine. But to me, it was very jarring. Another questionable thing I want to talk about is Glenn Lodbrok. They brought Ever Crisis character into the main timeline, I guess, or the remake trilogy area games. That's kind of questionable. My brother was playing this and he was like, who is this? He did not play the mobile game at all. Had no idea who that was and was very confused. So I could kind of understand why that would be questionable, but I am curious as to what they're doing with him, because he's very mysterious, and I don't know what's going on with him, but I'm curious. So it worked. Let's talk about the thing that everybody's talking about online lately are the Moogles in this game. They have teeth. Really, the only thing I see wrong with them is that their teeth. You can see their teeth. If I don't think they had teeth, their faces wouldn't be so weird. But it's the fact you see their teeth, it is weird. It is a bit weird. Stuff that I don't think people are going to like is I didn't really care about it, but I just want to bring it up because this is a big point of contention with a lot of people. I always see people talking about it. The multiple timelines, that is 1000% confirmed with all of the timeline and stamps and stuff that we see around toward the end of the game. And there's like 4, maybe 5 different stamps we see that are not beagles nor terriers. There's like a Shiba Inu one, there's a border collie one, I think. There's all kinds of different stamps that you see. I don't know how people feel about that, but I'm okay with it. I don't care. I mean, the game's fun overall. I don't care. That's just me though. I mean, if you want to bring timelines in, bring Zack back, Aerith lives, I don't care. I'm just having fun. I'm having fun playing with the characters that I grew up with that I love. And then the last thing I want to talk about is, I didn't really notice this really until I started playing the side content after I beat the game, is Chadley. Chadley seems to take over literally, like, the main game takes about 40 hours to beat, and then they said 60 hours for all the side content. So you're talking to Chadley, I'm not kidding, for maybe 50 of those hours, because 50 of the 60, that is, of the side content, because Chadley runs everything in the side content. Proto relics, oh my gosh, the materia springs, he's there. You know, talk to him for that. You talk to him for the summon things. You talk to for the enemy intel. You talk to him for everything, and he doesn't shut up. So now I don't really mind it so much, but I did notice it. It's like I kept hearing people talk about, like, oh my god, Chadley, he's everywhere. I was like, not really. But now that I play the game, I'm like, dude, yeah, he is definitely, he is the side content. Like, he's literally all of the side content. Like, he's your go-to guy. So I wish there was other characters you interacted with more as far as side content goes, but the vast majority of it is Chadley, which kind of blows. I wish there was more. We didn't see Chocobo Bill at all. Like, I wish there was more Chocobo quests were tied to and related to Chocobo Bill, you know, or something like that. Not just Chadley taking control of literally everything. So, but again, haven't beat the game 100% yet. So I'm assuming once we do the 100%, you know, we'll know why that is. We'll get a reveal or something like we did in Remake with Chadley. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the good, the bad, the ugly, or the questionable, I guess. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I've never done a review video like this before on the game, so if you did enjoy this, be sure to smash that like button. Let me know your thoughts on what you liked, didn't like, what you found questionable, all that. Let me know all that down below, and let's get a conversation going. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.